Yo, what is up, YouTube? So today I'm sorry, but I am disappointed. If anybody's been watching my past YouTube videos, I've been really into perfecting my camera car rig recently. And every time I make one step forward, there's always something that I need to improve on. And I thought I had the final touches. In order to mount the guy properly, so I got the DJI Ronin base expansion kit because I need to be able to rig this guy on the Pro Aim stabilizer. You know, before that, you know, this goes on here and is the usual deal. So with the base expansion kit, it's already rigged up. I can do a separate video to explain like what all these things are. But pretty much like this is the original power plate. So I have replaced this. I've taken this guy off. And instead, so now I've got this controller here. It's a standalone controller. Is it bright enough to see? So it's a standalone controller. I've got follow focus here, and I've got this joystick. Yeah, it's black, so it's hard to see. Record, start, stop. And I can program this to Dutch roll, whatever. Just one caveat is that so I need to starts getting more complicated than necessary. I've got this guy right here. So what I would do is I would attach this over here. And now I've got wired control. So I'd pretty much run this cable through the window, up the hood of the car. So this now plugs into here. So I've got a wired connection here. With the base kit, I also got the small rig 50 battery. This thing is awesome, man. Press the button, it tells you how much charge you got. You can pretty much charge your iPhone, anything with a 12 volt, 8 volts, and it's a V-mount battery. The mount itself is rigged to my car right now. So right now I'm just going to use this D-tap to power this guy. So right now, I always forget. There's a sleep button here. I gotta press the sleep button, get it out of sleep. And I've got my Dutch roll. You know, panning and all that kind of stuff. No matter which way I'm pointed, double click the trigger and it'll go back to normal. This dial right here, I can change it from, for example, got a bunch of options. Focus motor. Not sure if you can see it from there. Maybe this might help a little bit. Huh? You see that motor moving? This tiny little thing is a really strong follow focus motor. I hope you can see it moving. So that's all good, but the problem is transmission, so I still need to rely on my iPhone's app. And the problem is I was using the Raven Eye, which is a great product in itself. But once this thing is hanging in front of the car, having the engine block between my iPhone and the system here causes a lot of interference, dropouts, and whatnot. So after much consideration, I thought, okay, I'm just gonna have to take the jump and go for what DJI claims is the solution.
Introducing DJI Transmission, an integrated video transmission solution that gives cinematographers a groundbreaking coordinated shooting experience.
So just in case you don't know what I'm talking about, let me refer you to this video, DJI introducing DJI Transmission. Specifically, where is this, about halfway through the video, it starts talking about control mode.
In mirror control mode, the virtual keys on the monitor can be used to remotely control the menu of Sony mirrorless cameras. That means users won't need direct access to their camera in order to adjust settings. Add the Ronin 4D hand grips to the Hybrid remote monitor for intuitive control of the gimbal, focus, and start-stop recording, similar to the experience of using a Ronin 4D.
Where it claims you've got complete control over your gimbal, camera settings. You have the ability to control all of the menu functions on any, well, not any, but any approved Sony camera. And really, they make it look like you can do everything with it. And oh yeah, by the way, so this guy right here, I'm not going to take it off because of all these cables, but this is the actual transmitter. Let me, is this any better if you can see? If you want to see the back side, so you've got this little OLED here. And on the front side, you've got an HDMI in, SDI in out. This thing, you get power from the gimbal itself. So yeah, that's all good. That's all good. But I wish DJI would have been a little bit more transparent with what they say. Because just this transmitter, and then you also get the receiver slash monitor, should I call it? Which is beautiful. By the way, it costs $2,500, which, yeah, it's not expensive for professional equipment, but still, it's pretty hefty. So what you get is the transmitter and this monitor right here. And it is a nice monitor. It comes with a cage and everything, but you got to shell out another $700 to get these grips. And just so you don't think I'm a complainer, these grips, so you've got this thing here, which I'd assume could do focus, zoom, a mode button, peak button, record, stop, start and stop. And on the other end, you've got, it says autofocus here. On the other hand, you've got like a joystick remote. I don't know what the hell this icon means. Exposure and M, which I assume means manual focus. So I think it's only safe to assume that you get all those features. So it's pretty easy. You slide it on, tighten it, slide it on, tighten it, and depending on your preference, you can kind of, rotate it how you want it. And I prefer something like this, so you're kind of holding it and you can see it like this. So what you do is once you power on the Ronin, let me get this out of the way. I'm going to push this button to turn on the DJI Transmission receiver. Hope you can see it. Does this make it any better to see? No. Yeah, this arm's in the way. So once that's on, I'm gonna press this power button here. And in the beginning, it's pretty loud. Let me see if the mic picks it up. Not that bad. And it's booting up. Oh. Let me turn the camera on. And why do I not have a signal? It's disconnected. Hold on, how did that happen? Connected, okay. Where is my picture? This did not happen. Device A. Oh, here it is. Okay, I guess there was just a little bit of a delay. Let me turn the brightness up on this thing. General settings, screen settings. Okay, so this works, and let me set the function to, I'm gonna keep it on roll because that's what I use the most. So I got my Dutch roll right here, and the record start and stop, it took a lot of tinkering to figuring out how that works, but I got it to work. The only problem is, what about the other buttons right here? Nothing. Except for when I hold down this M button, the center focus square does turn green, so I guess it's autofocusing at that point, but it's already on autofocus, so I don't quite understand what that's doing. So 2,500 for this and this, plus 700, 3,200 plus tax. That's like $4,500. Yes, I understand Teradek, what do they have now? Teradek 5000 probably cost more. There's stuff that costs more, but still. Oh, one more thing. The DJI Transmission says with line of sight, it goes 6 kilometers, which is pretty crazy. So I would expect this thing to be able to transmit video between the front of my car and inside the car. But that's not always the case. I could go into this in a different video, but in order to make this work flawlessly, at least in terms of transmission, there's quite some tinkering I had to do with the HDMI output settings. One more thing I wish I would have known is that in order to get this screen here, I lose the LCD. And maybe that's not exactly DJI's fault, but Sony's fault. But it doesn't change the fact that I wish I could have had both. One thing that's nice is this widget. I don't know if you can see it here, but I press this here, and I've got the entire Sony menu. You know, I could change picture profiles, which media it's recording to, everything. I wish I could, I wish it was a touch screen. Well, it is a touch screen, but in order to control the menus, I gotta use this like on-screen little arrow thingy. But it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's just, I have mixed feelings about it. It's the best transmitter I've had so far. But, you know, DJI could have just been a little bit more transparent on what we're getting for like a little less than $5,000. Maybe things will be fixed in a firmware update later on, or maybe I'm just stupid and I have everything set up wrong. If anybody knows how to get all these buttons, except for the joystick and the scroll wheel, should I say, and the record button working, if you could reach out to me or leave something in the comments, that would be greatly appreciated, because this is just driving me crazy. One more thing to just keep in mind is, you know, with the Raven Eye, which also attached here, you can use things like Active Track. With DJI Transmission, yeah, sure, you've got much more control, but, you know, it would have been nice to have Active Track. Another thing I might as well mention, you've got gyroscope control. Hold on, let me recenter this. So, it's kind of awkward. I haven't tried using this, but I don't know, maybe it's useful. Kind of feel like putting this on a tripod. If I put it on a tripod, for example, then maybe it'll be more useful, because I could kind of go like this. Yeah, have much more precise control. Let's see, what else do I have? Assuming the connection's good, I can also stick a micro SD card in here, and I can record 1080 60 proxies here, which is nice. I get to control between 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz, was it? Depending on the situation. Hand grip dial. I gotta choose whether I want Dutch roll, follow focus motor. I could do aperture, shutter speed, things like that, pan, tilt, but ideally, you know, I've got this guy. I don't mind having it wired, but it would be kind of nice to have two wheels. So I have one for follow focus and the other one to do Dutch roll. Ideally, another one to do zoom. I tried connecting this setup and also connecting this via hardwire, but the thing just went berserk. The thing just kind of rattled around and was having an epileptic seizure. So I don't think I'm gonna try that again. So apart from that, all I can say is the thing's great. It's just that my expectations might have been a little bit too high. Had I known the limitations, I might have went a different route. But I have it, and it's a great addition to bringing my camera car to perfection. And so I don't know, I guess let me just go on another drive, a night drive, to see how this thing does. Please, if anyone has any advice on not just how to use the buttons, but oh yeah, come to think of it, the expansion base mount. you can see, this thing just doesn't mount. This is straight, and if you can see, this is crooked. Why? This thing is made for this. Why doesn't it mount straight? Am I just stupid? And plus I had to use this like DIY contraption of bolts and nuts to make it work. So I mount this, I put it upside down. It's facing diagonal, and I gotta adjust it like this to kind of make it straight. So I can't use the auto center button to get back to center. That's another little gripe. You know, this cheese plate's got so many holes. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but I think I tried every single hole here and I still can't get it to mount straight. Please, if anyone has any advice or is having the same problem, please let me know. And when it comes to setting this guy up, it's kind of, you know, once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. But I guess on your first or second try, things probably are not going to go as you expect, and there's some trial and error involved. And there's very little resources online or on DJI's homepage. I've probably seen 2 YouTube videos of people talking about this. So I thought I'd just put it out there. If anybody wants like a more in-depth tutorial of how I put this guy together to make everything work at least as flawlessly as it is working right now, please leave me a comment and I'll get around to making a video on how to put this together. And thank you for watching.
DJI Transmission gives users a powerful device that packs reception, monitoring, control, and recording all into one, helping to push the limits of your creativity and revolutionizing the industry. This is Vision Beyond Boundaries.